Hey, it's Carlos Cavallo. If you're trying to get him to come back to you, chances are you're going to do anything to make that happen. In fact, the most important reason you want to make a guy jealous is to wake him up, get him back to the relationship, right? Maybe you made a mistake and you scared him off. Maybe it was something you said. Maybe it was something you did. But if you want to get him back, you got to show him something, well, a little bit controversial. I'm going to show you how to get him back using jealousy. But we're not going to do anything wrong or evil. Let's get going. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Welcome back to the dating and relationship secrets you need to know. Jealousy is a super powerful emotion. In fact, it's a super weapon. You probably know this already. Jealousy can definitely be used for good in a relationship because it can do the following for your partner. It can make them remember your value. It can remind them how lucky they are to have you. It can show them that you're still attractive, you're still desirable, and other men want you. It can make them understand that you are not obligated to be his. It can also remind him how much he wanted you before this complacency set in. When you're in love with somebody, you want to possess them completely. And if somebody comes along who threatens that, yes, you go on high alert. You're ready to get those claws out and start scratching. And if you've recently broken up or you're losing your guy right now, you're probably feeling a little jealous right now yourself. You don't want to lose him to some other woman. Am I right here? Think about the power of jealousy. It can make you take action when you don't want to. And if you want your ex back, making them jealous could be the best way to make them realize that you are a catch and that your relationship was much better than they appreciated. You want to make them wish they were still with you, even if they don't admit it. Now, this is controversial because it also feels manipulative to make somebody feel jealous or to trick somebody, right? Let's be clear here. I'm not saying that you should purposely manipulate anyone. This is completely legal in the relationship and dating relationship realm because, as I say, it's a win-win. When you get him to come back to you and create this relationship, you both win. And in the end, you can have the choice of whether or not you want to come back to the relationship instead of him walking away from it, and then you don't get any choice. Jealousy cuts straight through and it clarifies. It cuts right to the chase. This requires a little subtle touch here, though, so you don't want to be too obvious. So I'll understand if you don't want to use these tactics, but the truth is, you probably do, because nothing really matters except getting this person back in the relationship. Sometimes the ends justify the means, and you don't have to use all the things I'm telling you after all. If it feels a little too dodgy or, I don't know, a little bit too meh, skip it. All right, let's start out with the first strategy here. Strategy number one, remember that he still wants you. Sometimes when a man walks away or breaks up, you assume that he managed to turn off all of his feelings for you. Somehow he doesn't feel the same anymore. It doesn't happen quite like that. Unless he was already sick of the relationship and ready to leave it months ago, he's probably feeling just as down in the dumps as you are. You may not want to believe it based on what you see on the surface, but it's probably true. Guys just hide their emotions better. So remember that even though you can't help but burst into tears every time somebody says his name, this doesn't mean that he isn't also having his own painful emotional reaction to this breakup. Trust me, we do. The next strategy is let him see you having fun. There's nothing we hate more than feeling down in the dumps and then watching somebody else having a good time without us, right? That absolutely sucks. When your ex sees that you're not hurt or upset by him leaving or walking away from the relationship, it's going to hit him like a punch to the gut, the same way it would hit you if you saw him having fun without you, right? Remember that these emotions go in both directions, and he's going to start getting jealous, and he's going to be jealous that he's not a part of your happy, fun life. This is just a simple law of human nature. So go ahead, post some fun pictures of you with your girlfriends on social media. You went to a party last weekend? Awesome. Make sure those images are up on Instagram. Or if you have a long conversation with him on Facebook, just talk about all the fun you had. Yes, this does require you to actually go out and have some fun. That's the other part. The crazy part is that right now that's the last thing you want to do. But it's the first thing you have to do. Get back to living your life no matter what, because even if you can't get this guy back, you still need your life and you still need to be having fun. Yeah? Okay. Next strategy, get back to dating. Yeah, if it's been at least a few weeks, dating and finding somebody new is something that should be on your agenda. This works out for two reasons, okay? If you do find somebody, there's a good chance that they'll be a better fit than the last person. There's a good chance of that because now you're a little bit wiser and you don't have to worry about that other relationship anymore. Just be careful that you're not jumping into a rebound situation, all right? The next part about getting out there and dating is if you only date casually, and that's what I'm talking about doing here, nothing serious, jealous. Your ex is still going to see this, and he's going to get a little peeved about it that you could move on so quickly. And especially if the new person you're seeing has some really nice qualities to contrast with him. A little warning here though, don't overdo this one. It's very easy to push too hard and push that jealousy button too hard, and then your jealousy thing turns into resentment. It's better that your ex only suspects that you're dating again. And you definitely don't want to use another person, right? Don't use that person just to get back at your ex or to, just to make them jealous. If you dump them later on just to go back to your ex, that's going to install a whole bunch of bad karma. Hey, leave a comment below. Tell me if you think you could start dating again after a fresh breakup. I'd like to know that. And you know what? Hang on a second. Is he cold or distant right now? Is your man sending you mixed signals? Has he fallen out of love? Do you want to see if you could win him back? I've got a great new quiz you can take and find out. After all, if he's not the one, stop wasting your time with him. Go take my quiz right now. Go to datingfire.com/win him back. Find out if you can do it. The next strategy is kill him with kindness. This is one of the oldest strategies, but it does work. When we are feeling heartbroken or sad, we often resort to more petty and unkind behaviors. It's just a little, sad fact of human nature. So be sure to be as kind and benevolent with your ex as you can, with his family, with his friends, with everybody that you know that knows him. Because negative words only fuel the reasons that he left the relationship in the first place. Don't start a war of words, all right? This is going to completely destroy your strategy, and it's going to make sure that he never comes back to you. Basically, just because, you just gave him no reason to come back, right? All the fuel he needs to stay away from you forever. So make sure you're as positive and kind as you can be. This is going to be a challenge because it's not what you want to do. It's going to require a lot of maturity and strength to pull it off. Ultimately, showing your kindness is going to show him that he's missing out on somebody that is stronger than the relationship, okay? He's going to see that you're doing fine without him, and you're probably a better person for it, and it's going to drive him nuts. Exactly what we want. Okay, the next strategy is ignore his texts. If he starts texting you and you start getting excited and hopeful for a reconciliation, well, that's probably likely to happen, right? And it may be possible, but you don't want to do it quite yet. Don't jump the gun. Unless he texts you directly, hey, let's get back together, your job isn't done. Far from it, in fact. If he starts texting you, that means he may also be testing you in a way. Yes, guys do this. Sometimes a guy will want to try again with the relationship, but he doesn't know how to say it out loud. So what we do is we test the waters. We send a few test texts to you to see how you respond to them. But don't jump on those texts and hope that they are a bid for attention or to get back together. They may not be, so you have to be careful. Give him more space. It's tempting, but hold back. When he sends you a text, just consider, is this worth responding to or not? If he doesn't ask you a question, don't respond to the text. Then, if he texts you again, you can bet he is trying to get your attention. What you don't want to do is be pulled into a friend with benefits situation. Yes, that's exactly what some guys are trying to do with their texting. He's testing to see whether or not you might be open for a little non-committed familiar action, let's call it that. If you want the relationship to have a possibility of starting up again, don't go down this road. I'm serious. This is the one thing that's going to destroy any chance for you getting back together with him. No friends with benefits. Have some strength. Call a girlfriend to talk you down from the ledge. Just ignore his texts for now until he shows a greater commitment to wanting you back. Next strategy is use social media. Let's face it, as invasive and unhealthy as social media can be, you can use it to your advantage. Use it to post positive stories about your life. Use it to keep up on what's going on in his circles. But again, caution here. You can drive yourself crazy using social media, and most people do. Studies have shown that one of the top factors that creates depression and anxiety is our need to compare our lives on social media. It's not a healthy way to spend your day, so be very cautious and very, very careful how you use social media during this time of grief. Next strategy is avoid jealousy. And what I mean here is make sure that you are not feeling jealous yourself. We don't want to become accidentally jealous in the process of making your ex jealous. If you start acting out emotionally or feeling a lot of wild mood swings, there's a good chance you're falling victim to this strategy yourself. Let's just say that you check on his Facebook page and you see that he's got a picture of him with another girl. What are you going to do? Most likely, you're going to freak out, right? You're going to get jealous, and you're going to freak out, and you're going to do something that you're going to regret later. Next strategy is look great. If you want them to be jealous, you got to give them a reason. This is the perfect time to get yourself looking better than ever. When you look better than you did when you were with him, he's going to definitely notice that, and he's going to suddenly become much more interested. Spend some time and energy, improve your wardrobe, get that haircut you've been waiting to get that new color or that makeup, and definitely get back to the gym and start exercising, but mostly for yourself, so you can feel good about you. Next strategy is make the change. Chances are he had a complaint about you in the relationship, so why not make that change and make him jealous that he doesn't have what he wanted in the relationship? Let me give you an example of this. It sounds kind of superficial here, but I did have a girlfriend way back when who was very reluctant to attend to her health. She ate food kind of recklessly, she refused to exercise, she had a lot of extra weight, and she knew she needed to lose it. Now this was a big sticking point for me because I had a healthy lifestyle, so I did my best to encourage her and help her into a healthy mindset. Eventually though, she seemed too resistant to improving herself, so I ended the relationship. Now a couple months later, I ran into her at a bar and I saw she managed to lose about 25 pounds, and she had also changed her hairstyle and basically did everything I was trying to prompt her to do when we were in the relationship. That made me want to reconsider the relationship once I saw she was capable of making the changes she needed to. So go back and review it. What were the things he was complaining about with your relationship? What did he want you to change? If it isn't something that's fundamentally like deep in you, why not make those changes? Hey, if you like these tips, go on, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and you can get these videos every week and know exactly when they're released. Don't miss out. Next strategy is make new friends. One thing that intimidates guys a lot is when a woman manages to bring new people into her life. Now, you might not be ready to start another relationship. That's okay. I get it. That's fine. But one thing you can do is start making new friends. When somebody makes new friends, that means that they're widening and improving their social circle. They're not getting bogged down in depression. And we all know that a new social circle means, yes, you're probably likely to meet somebody new to date. Guys know this. Intuitively, we know this. So get yourself out there and start making new friends. New friends revives your sense of self-esteem and your self-confidence. And you may have many more options available to you when you are ready to get back out there. But of course, this will definitely make your ex sit up and pay attention. That you're getting back out in the world and being, well, a little bit more available. Don't wait. Get this one on right away. Next strategy is don't be so available. Frequently, we maintain friendly relationships with the people we broke up with or that broke up with us. Women do this frequently because they don't want to seem like they're being petty or jealous. They put their own feelings on the back burner so they can maintain a civil relationship even when they're seething inside. Okay, but one thing you don't have to do is be available for him. Okay, you don't want him to think that you're living at home pining away for him, right? Night and day. He should have a hard time connecting to you. Perhaps the only way would be if he's texting or leaving voicemails, but what you should do is definitely not answer your phone if he calls. Wait at least a couple of days before getting back to him. And if he does text you, don't reply to his text for at least a day or two. He shouldn't be that big of a priority to you. If you answer him too quickly, you're going to sense, well, he's going to sense that you're desperate and you're waiting on him. Instead, wait. Make him wonder, why don't you put him on the pedestal anymore? Why isn't he a priority? That's going to make him jealous just wondering what you're doing instead. You want this guy to think that you're busy at night. After all, night is prime time for social and romantic endeavors. I often talk about my story of my past girlfriend. Her name is Michelle, and I wanted to go surprise her with a visit one night, so I drove over to her house and she wasn't there. So I waited out in my car. She was going to get back, right? Well, I waited in my car for 3 or 4 hours, and it became very clear she wasn't coming back that night. You want to guess how jealous I was? I went home, I tried calling her, no answer. I stayed up until midnight, no answer. I never found out what she did that night, but you can bet one thing. Number one, I was jealous. Number two, I chased her until I caught her after that night happened. Hopefully you see the power of this strategy. It's huge. And finally, hang out with that guy. This one might feel a little bit edgy, but as with all of my strategies, it does work. What you want to do is go grab a drink or a bite to eat with a guy that you know might be into you, or he might have been into you while you were dating your ex. But let's be realistic here. We all have relationships where your boyfriend had a friend who is obviously flirting with you and into you, right? Or some guy that's in your social circle. You might have given it more of a chance if you weren't already in a relationship. But even if that's not the case, this guy can come in handy. This guy that likes you, invite him out for a drink or a bite to eat. It doesn't have to go anywhere, just a social outing. Have a few laughs, drop stop it right there if that's all you want, but rest assured that the word is going to get back to your ex one way or the other. You might even make sure that you're seen at a place that you used to go to with your old boyfriend. This one is absolutely going to raise jealousy right off the charts. Just make sure you handle it in whatever way feels heartfelt and heart-centered for you. And by the way, you might be obsessing over him right now. If you're feeling a lot of out-of-control emotions, that's a sign that you're probably doing a little bit of obsessing. Now, this isn't a healthy place for you. You have to get your emotions under control. And of course, you want to change the situation. You want to get him back, but don't let making your ex-boyfriend jealous be your full-time job. That could really pull you into a spiral of depression and unhealthy behavior. Sometimes it ends up as a cautionary story where somebody ends up spray painting something evil on the other person's car. I'm not kidding here. I'm not saying that's you, but let's be careful. You may not be able to stop thinking about him, but make sure you're always working on your own health and your happiness. You have to take care of yourself first, and that's your priority. One of the most important steps is to make sure you understand how men think and why they do what they do. If you want to take steps to keep him in your life, you got to know what to say and how to get him to stay connected to you. Connection is absolutely mandatory. You can't do without it in your relationship. And if you know how to do it right, you don't have to use jealousy to get him back. You can use your connection with him, his connection code, to get him wanting you all over again. Most women don't realize how rare it is that a man feels a connection with a woman, and we don't want to lose that. Most often, not having this connection is what makes a man leave a relationship in the first place. If you're in a situation right now where you want to get him back, or you want to get a relationship back, or even make sense out of a breakup, I've got something that can help you. It's a simple quiz you can take to find out whether or not that relationship is worth saving. No matter what strategies you use, you want to know there's potential to recreate the love you once had. Go take my quiz right now. datingfire.com/win him back. That's datingfire.com/win him back. You can find out if he's cold or distant, if he's sending mixed messages, has he fallen out of love? Go find out right now. Hey, if you're new here, or even if you're not, do the big three. Make sure you like and subscribe. You got to get this stuff every week. Like the video, subscribe to it, turn on notifications or whatever icon or button is there so that you get notified when I release more of these great videos coming up. And if you've already subscribed, make sure you share this. Share my videos with somebody so that they can also get better relationships in their life. Spread the word. And number 3, comment below. Did you agree with what I said? Is there a video that you want? Maybe you have your own tip. Leave me a comment below if you want a part 2 to this video or any other videos you'd like to see. And don't forget, I usually put YouTube puts a video up here in the corner for you to check out. Go check it out. This is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.